Making their way to the blue corner, Gerardo Fierro.
Our first fighter to make the walk tonight is Gerardo Fierro. Thank you so much for joining us as tonight's Tuff-N-Uff fight card is coming to you from the Sahara Theater in Las Vegas. This is a young man that is just 19 years old. He is making his debut tonight inside the Tuff-N-Uff cage. You know, we've talked a lot about that over the years, where young fighters making this walk for the first time. What does that feel like? You would imagine that there's nerves there, but this young man said he's been ready for this. He said it took a lot of mental strength to know that I was really ready to step into the cage. I've been training with buddies who have fought already, and I'm trying to learn everything I can, win, lose, or draw. I'm going to go in there and have fun. And you'll see some amateur fighters on this card tonight that have been doing this for years. I mean, they've been competing at this level for a long time. This young man, he got into mixed martial arts about a year and a half ago, and he was inspired by a great fight card that he saw. He said UFC 278, which we all recall wasn't that long ago. Leon Edwards, the last round head kick to become the undisputed welterweight champion. That fight made me love and start doing mixed martial arts. He's a kid with a love for martial arts. He's a high school student right now, finishing up in high school, but again, 19 years old, wants to be fighting in the UFC in 5 years from now, and tonight, a huge night for him as he makes his debut inside of the cage.
Tyler Gibbons.
Tyler Gibbons with a nice little pop from the crowd. He brought some fans along tonight as he also gets set to make his debut inside of the cage. He stands at 5'11", 145 pounds as well. This weight class coming in at 135 though, so he made the cut down 10 pounds from his natural weight. He's also been in martial arts for just a couple of years' time. He said he got into it back in 2021 after he moved back from Iowa and was the pandemic kid. He's playing football in college, got injured 2 weeks before the start of the season. If you can imagine how difficult that is. He said it was really hard on him mentally. He said he moved back to one of his friends' place. They told him to start training, and it was right around the time of Gaethje versus Ferguson. That planted the seed. He said a year later, I started training when I got my feet back underneath me financially. He said, I've always been an athlete, and martial arts filled that void of football and other team sports that I played as a child. So martial arts, he said, was my hobby, my second home, my canvas. He's been preparing for this fight by training 5 to 6 times per week. So two very young fighters, both making their debut tonight here at the beautiful Sahara Theater on the Strip in Las Vegas. And as you can imagine, the butterflies are going for both of these fighters. When you're stepping into the cage for the first time, the idea of it's no longer the gym. They're no longer your friends that you're training with. There's actually somebody across the cage that's trying to hurt you, and especially a premier event like this that's being broadcast around the world. It's got a packed house already here at the Sahara Theater for Tuff-N-Uff. I mean, this is a big stage that can be a launching point for your entire career as a mixed martial artist. Even if it's something that you've only thought about for the last couple of years, there is a lot of hard work that goes into a moment like this, and here we go. We've got two fighters that have never done it before until this moment right now. So as Tyler walks up the stairs, our first fight of the evening is set to go. These are the future stars of MMA. This is Tuff-N-Uff. Justin Bernard to bring our fighters in. Taking a look there at the tail of the tape real quickly as you see 18 and 23, the reach advantage in the favor of Tyler Gibbons. Here's Justin Bernard.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first bout is scheduled for 3 2-minute rounds in the Tuff-N-Uff bantamweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. He's a mixed martial artist making his amateur debut. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 126 pounds. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Gerardo Fierro. And now, introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He's a freestyle fighter, making his amateur debut tonight. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in officially at 134.8 pounds. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Tyler Groovy Gibbons. When the action begins, your referee in charge, Jimmy Guarino.
3 2-minute rounds, our format for this amateur fight. You've got two fighters that I said earlier are making their debut. They agree on a quick touch of the gloves. You got Fierro wearing the all black trunks with the blue tape around his gloves, and you got Gibbons wearing the black and the white with the red gloves. Cage doors are officially closed here at the Sahara Theater. debut moment for both of these fighters, and we are underway. There we go, touch of the gloves, and quickly, Gibbons comes out and fires a kick to the body. Let's see how the nerves affect these guys, how fast they start. Do they settle in or do they go for it? Pretty quick action here as round number 1 gets underway. And Gibbons follows Fierro to the ground, ends up in the guard of Fierro. Let's see if he's able to pass. In the half guard right now. Jockeying for head position. See Fierro trying to figure out what to do here as Gibbons doing a nice job early on with control from top position. Fierro trying to scramble those hips out of there. Let's see if he's able to do it. So far, Gibbons doing a nice job from the top position in the half guard, being heavy and landing some strikes. I mean, Fierro's doing a nice job of tying up the hands, but Gibbons sneaking some punches through there. Less than a minute remaining here in round number 1. And 45 seconds remaining in round number 1. And so far, Tyler Groovy Gibbons having a really strong round number 1. And couldn't really tell if Fierro wanted this fight to go to the ground or not. But right now, Gibbons starting to overwhelm a bit. We saw Fierro start to turtle up a little bit there. There's still 30 seconds on the clock here. If Gibbons can get his hand free, he might be able to rain down some punches here. The referee is keeping a very, very close eye on this. And now Fierro's starting to give up the back a little bit. Gibbons looked like he may be interested in taking it, but not a lot of time to work here. That's one of the challenges. Here we go. Now he's got the back. Only 10 seconds left here in round number 1. He's going to posture up, just rain down some punches. Thought about trying to sneak that choke in, and still going to try here in the last couple of seconds, but probably not enough time to complete it. The figure 4 body lock, really dominant end to round number 1 for Tyler Groovy Gibbons. Excellent job there in the first round by Tyler in order to come out this evening, make a statement in round number 1. But we got a long way to go in this fight. So we got the first round in the books for these fighters. That's the first time that they've ever stepped inside of a cage. And you can tell sometimes the nerves can play a factor in those first couple of minutes. And really it is just a couple of minutes where you end up dropping a whole lot of energy. And you're watching some of the action here from round number 1, Mahoney. There's that kick to the body, and we saw him go down and then instantly just followed his opponent right to the ground and started raining down some punches and did a really nice job in round number 1, kind of taking control as the fight was getting underway. But there you have it, round number 1 in the books, and it's Tyler Groovy Gibbons with the very first round.
Perhaps being held by both of these fighters. An exciting moment for both.
Yeah, I mean, the debut, right? It's like the nerves can always get you in the first couple of minutes. Let's see in round number 2 if things settle in a little bit for Fierro, or if Gibbons continues to have a lot of success just like he did in the first round. Gibbons comes out with an early kick, follows it with a second one. What a teep! Another nice kick to the body. Gibbons doing a nice job with his range right now, even there with his punches. But those kicks, man, he's really doing a nice job of controlling the cage right now with his legs.
Yeah, he seems very, very poised in there right now. Coming off that first round, gotta be a very good feeling for this young man.
Well, when you're making the debut, you come out in the first round, and all of a sudden all that training in the gym starts to pay off, right? You're like, oh, I can actually do this thing. What do you know? And really just starting to light up his opponent here. Fierro, once again, starting to turtle up. Gibbons is turning it on. Referee watching that closely, but right now, Gibbons putting a lot of damage on his opponent, and not a big response from Fierro, who also took a lot of damage in round number 1. And Gibbons continues to light up his opponent, and the referee watching it closely here. Looks like he's about to step in and break this one up as Gibbons continues to punch away. Fierro fires back, but now he's taking more shots. Big knee to the body there. More punches. You got to watch those knees to the head. Those aren't allowed in the amateur ranks, but here we go. Now he's going to look for that takedown with 45 seconds left here in round number 2. And again, Fierro starting to turtle up a little bit as Gibbons continues to rain down some heavy leather.
I mean, just methodical striking from Gibbons like a clock. I mean, he has not stopped. It's tick, tock, hit, hop. He is all over Fierro right now.
And that is the end, ladies and gentlemen. Tyler Groovy Gibbons with the victory by TKO in round number 2. That's how you do it in a debut. Yeah, we talked about Fierro, 18 years old, making the debut tonight. Wanted to see what it was like. He's only been training for about a year and a half. No harm, no foul. You had the guts to step into the cage. You had a valiant performance. Didn't go your way. That's what these early fights are all about. Learning, kind of understanding the skill set of not only you, but your opponent. And it's always tough when you're making your debut because you don't have any idea what your opponent actually does. There's no tape until this very moment right here. So nice show of sportsmanship, but more than anything, groovy with a great performance tonight.
Fierro looked very tough in this fight. Showed a lot of heart, but Tyler Gibbons, showing a tremendous amount of poise. Did not let up off that gas when he knew that he had him hurt. Just did not overextend himself either, which I thought was very impressive too, Dave.
Very nicely done. Justin Bernard with the official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 1 minute, 35 seconds into round number 2, referee Jimmy Garino calls a stop to the fight for the winner by TKO, Tyler